What's going on, everybody? Travis with REC Garage. I gotta face the American flag, always. I like to shout when you see the American flag in it. You know, I'm patriotic. So, working on the 37 again. I think last video was all 37. We did the chop. We finished the chop on the windshield. Looks pissa. So, the doors are off. Jacob is finishing the floor. He's done the floor pretty much all himself. I let him just like, you know, it's a floor. If he messes anything up, it's a floor. It's fine. Don't really care. So he was using the spot welder, and we were kind of hammering some flanges to make them fit, and some of these spot welds would pop. So I think I said in an earlier video, we don't trust the spot welder anymore. This is why. So he's been going back and stitch welding the whole thing, even doing some rosettes when he can. So, you know, the whole thing, tunnels coming up in there, so drive shaft will be all G. Yeah, it's pretty much done. Then we're going to shoot with the red primer. We were going to put some beads in there, and to be honest with you, we forgot to do it, and he started welding it in, and I'm like, oh, well, you know, I guess it's not getting any beads. But it's fine. It's not like it's going anywhere. You know, probably going to get covered in carpet regardless, so who cares? I am working on getting these panels to fit better. I trimmed the bottom because they were overhanging this body line here. So I trimmed it. I need to trim the front of this a little bit more and kind of get more curve to that, get the light line flowing the way I want it. This guy, working on this side more. I planished out this corner because it was really kind of rough, and I got it to fit pretty good so that it's time to scribe. So put some Dicom on here, and actually it just dried, so it's about time that I put this back on, Clico it back on here. Scribe, I'm going to scribe the bottom first, get that fitting nice, and then who knows, I think the rest of it might get cut and butt. I don't know. First off, I know I'm going to trim this here first to get this, you know, the ball rolling here, fit that to it. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to weld it here, because I also got to take this sheet metal off here because we're doing it different. And you see how different it is already. It's kind of just up here, because when this trunk lid moved up, you know, I'm not changing the shape of the deck lid, so you can't just move it up because it really just changes everything. So instead of changing all this down here and changing the deck lid and all that, we just changed the height of the sheet metal on this catwalk here, because originally it was pretty low and it had a big swoop up to this little edge here for the top. So instead of a big swoop up, it's gonna kind of come into it. I'm gonna make a separate piece for this whole lip. So it's gonna be pretty much just this area, but it's not gonna come down. It's gonna just have a tiny radius and flow into this panel here. So, and it's gonna be higher. This lip either is not gonna be as high, or it's gonna be as big, but it's gonna be taller here. So I gotta figure that out, because I like this height here. I just need to transition it up here, so I gotta do that. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Pretty much remaking the whole back of the car, but ain't no thing. So let's click this on, at least scribe it. If I'm gonna cut it and start welding this in, I don't know yet. So I was just talking to Jacob, and I was like, I think I just need to start welding the stuff in, because I can always take my planishing hammer and smooth everything out, like do the fine tuning when it's all together. I don't need to have the panels fitting like wicked pissa before I put it in, because I can always move things around with the planishing hammer and, you know, hammer dollies and stuff like that. I know it's best to get it fitting like that, but for something so custom like this, I think I just need to start getting the stuff on there, and if I need to modify from there, you know, even if I got to do some things, cut some things and move things in, I'm not, you know, I don't care. It's the things you got to do. It's not, I'm not replicating something, so I have nothing I'm going off of. So it's kind of be like, it's like freestyle over here. I'm freestyling it. So yeah, that's why I think I just want to start welding this in. I don't know if it's going to be a bad idea. We'll find out though. That's what kids just want to see. Alright guys, I didn't record mostly anything yesterday. Jacob took like one clip, me working, but I'll show you what happened yesterday. A lot of fitting and tweaking panels. I know that's probably the stuff you want to see. I'm gonna try to record today because I got more of that stuff to do. Got this panel tacked on, just this side here, and I think up here a little bit. Got this tacked and tacked. There's got to be some stuff done here. I need to planish and get this fit nice. It shrunk when I tacked it, and I probably didn't have the radiuses quite correct when I welded it on there anyway, but I'll fix that nice. So I got this trimmed and dicumed, as you can see. I just have to clamp it in a couple places and get the scribe going. Scribe that. I'm going to trim it only, just like the other side. Only going to trim this, the body side. I'll trim up here. Yeah, then I'm going to leave it. So I don't want to do anything with this opening yet. I want to get, you know, the body side all welded in, and then I'm going to go for the opening, because I still don't know if I need to like tweak it or something. Something just doesn't look right, but it might be the way I cut this. There's more material here, and this is a big piece of material, and it gets real skinny here. I think that's what's messing up my eye. So I got to look at that more before I want to, you know, fully commit and weld the center in, because that's very important. I want to get the edges, the body nice, so then I can kind of locate the center within reason. Kind of, I can tweak it, you know, I can tweak a little bit. So I'm gonna work on the side panel, the left side of the deck lid, and then I think next thing I want to do is scribe this centerpiece and weld it to each side catwalk. So get catwalk all welded together, because I don't have a piece, but I need to make a piece here, small little piece. I think I have this piece of wood up too far. Yeah, right there's good. But we put the deck lid on. I can probably put it on again, and it's like, it's a shot of money. It's exactly the way I wanted it, so that's cool. It flows right nice right down into it. Nothing's wonky, so perfect. What I thought would happen happened, and the top of the deck lid is like perfectly in line with the center of the wheel, so you know we're cooking. Top of the deck lid center with the center of the wheel. The back, well, the front of the catwalk, back of the seat is in line with the front of the fender. We're cooking. This is awesome. This is going to be such a killer car. You know, and it's probably going to look not too different than any other Cabriolet, so you're really not going to know it's modified unless you know it's modified, which is cool. That's the kind of stuff I like, where like you see, yeah, it's going to be low and chopped, but other than that, you're going to be like, oh, it's, you know, you just bagged and, you know, chopped that Ford. No big deal. A lot of work went in this back section here, not just that. So let's get to work. All right, so slight change of plans. Slight. I think I said I was going to do the bottom panel below the deck lid before I do anything else. I did some measuring around. I got it about in the middle. When I say about, I mean because this deck lid opening and deck lid is nowhere close to square. I just don't think Ford made them square to begin with, because this thing is way out of whack. I got the side here from the bead to the edge, and from the edge to the bead, and then on top here equal top and bottom, you know, so it's there. It's as in center as it can be. So what I did here, I scribed and cut the sides, so now this is ready to butt weld. It's all fitting nice. And then up here, all this stuff, this is all gonna get cut and butt with the little air saw, because getting, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, 12 different angles and planes to sit in and be perfectly, you know, aligned the way I want it to is next to impossible. So this side and this side, two almost longest welds. This is pretty much close to that, but that's fine with me. To do one cut and butt that long, I'm fine with it. So get those nice and scribed and flush, mint, I'm happy with that. Those are gonna be nice. And then the top here, I can get cut and butt really close, so I'm not worried about it at all. But my original plan, see my marks here, I was gonna cut this like I've done everything else and leave just a little bit of this opening, but there's a big support under here and I wouldn't be able to planish the weld. And especially being a catwalk right here, I did not want a goofy weld so visible. So I made this flange a little bit bigger so it's gonna be easier to planish out, and I can even get, you know, a planishing hammer on there and kind of go to town, get everything washed over nice. The only thing that I kind of messed up on is I put a weld seam here and there. And here is exactly where that brace is that we made. So it's just gonna be kind of a pain to get to this area unless I kind of bend it out of the way. I'll see if I can bend it out of the way and then kind of bend it back. You know, if I can't do it, whatever, it's a hand job, but I'd much rather be able to get this area with the planishing hammer to kind of smooth out all my radiuses here, because this one's a little different than this here, and it needs to kind of fade out because the whole thing kind of flattens out. So I need to get that transition nice. This I can get to from this side, and from here I can get all this, but I kind of messed up and put this here. I should have moved it up more, maybe had a seam here, something like that. I don't know. It'll all get pounded out in the end, so I'm not too worried about it. You see how the white line's kind of crazy? I gotta mess with it and get it right, but it's coming together. It's, you know, it's welded together now, so it's almost there. Now you can make this bottom section. Oh, it shouldn't be too bad, honestly. So you know, I'll get there soon. I just need to get this in, because if I had that panel on there, I wouldn't have been able to get this piece over this piece, because I had to pull it back further, get that up and over, and then push it back in. So I'm kind of glad I didn't make that piece yet, but all right, let's get back to work. Enough blabbing. All right, did a bunch of welding, hammer dolly, planishing. That's what happens when you planish and sand, get dirty. So yeah, this side's coming together. Everything is just tacked on. Probably on the camera it looks like it's fully welded. It is not. Yeah, see? Beep, beep, beep. Beep, 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 beep. But this is what I like to do. You guys know this. And for those who don't, listen up. When I put in a panel, when I put in a panel, I like to tack it, get it all tacked up, grind off any little high spots there is, if there is any, like, you know, that's high, this is high, I've been smashing it a little bit, that guy's a little booger, you know, grind those off. Do not touch the base metal, just the weld. Planish it either with a hammer and dolly, which is my personal favorite, and then I go on with the planishing hammer to kind of smooth out all my, because usually when you know, I'll be honest with you, when I'm planishing these tacks out, I most of the time overstretch the tack area a little bit. What am I gonna do? You know, it'll take forever if I'm just like hitting a little bit, checking, hitting a little bit, checking. I just fucking smash the thing flat, grind it off, and then I go over, wash it over with the planishing hammer. When I say I overstretch it, it's by a tiny bit. And then I wash over with the planishing hammer, and it smooths everything out. If it ends up being too much, shrink disc, you know, bring it back down. Even, to be honest with you, when you weld the bead, it'll shrink it back anyway. So, whatever. This is what I do. So, once I get the tacks all nice and level, so it's, you know, there's no, you know, what do they call them? Crow's foot or something? There's some down here. This guy, that guy. I try to get rid of most of those, if I can. And then, you know, make sure it's nice, DA it. Once I'm pretty much happy, like 80% happy with how it is tacked, I know it's going to change when I weld it, so I stop. And then I'm going to go and weld the whole thing, weld every seam fully. I might jump around, do a weld seam, you know, grind it and planish it off, do another one, grind, planish it off, or, you know, if I'm feeling froggy, I'll just weld everything and then come back and grind, planish. But, you know, sometimes that gets boring if all I'm doing is welding for like 5 hours of the day, and then I have to grind and grind and grind and planish, you know, for a few more hours after that. It gets annoying. So sometimes, you know, to break it up, you weld, finish off that weld. Ooh, that looks nice. Let's move on. Weld, finish it off. Ooh, that looks nice, dude. So that's what I do. And as you can see, I've only done to like here. I haven't touched this, and I haven't touched the other side yet. The other side, this is just tacked in. Nothing fancy has happened here. But I really like the way this is coming in. I cannot wait until I make this panel and even get it clecoed in just to see it closed up. Ooh, I gotta get that done. And I think I don't want to strip the whole thing of paint because, you know, knowing Dick Royer, there's probably a bunch of Bono in there. Maybe not. I don't know. Actually, no, that's one panel, so that's probably fine because he replaced it from here, so that's probably fine. I can probably strip that so it's, you know, the back section's all just bare metal, so I can see what's going on in there, and it won't give me a weird eye. I'll see exactly what's going on, because sometimes when you know, you got some primered stuff in there, it kind of messes with your mind. Even this jagged cut, like I said before, is messing with my head. But yeah, it's just, you know, a simple, pretty much flat panel, 36, maybe 28 radius on there. I might add a bit more. And then just, I need to follow this bead line, or this crease, down and around again. I'll make this bead a consistent thickness. And that's going to be the hardest part, is getting that bead a consistent thickness the whole way. So that might be a little tricky, but at the same time, maybe not. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I love the way it's looking. You know, it's like I said before, you almost can't tell that this car didn't come like this. It's not some wild conversion or like some wild crazy stuff. Yes, it's a ton of work, but it still has that subtle look to it, I think. Especially like 38 Cooper fenders. Just move the deck lid, move the catwalk. True Cabrilolet size. You know, I think it's great. Subtle touches. All right, back here this morning. It's a little cold today, but the sun's gonna be out all day long, so I got the door open. As long as I'm moving, I should be all right. It's only gonna be up to, I think, 45 or something like that. I don't remember, but hopefully it gets warmer than that. If the sun's out, it should be warmer, but I'm no weatherman. So let's get to work. Let's continue on this back section of this a little bit. I think I'm only doing a half day, and then I'm gonna jump back onto the 34-3 window, just because I want to get those doors squared away. I gotta do something about that. So, all right, let's go plan some welds. Getting this, trying to get this all lumped out. Still a little wacky. Might DA it. This is kind of messing with my eye. But the side's looking good. It's almost to the other side.
Yeah, that side's looking really good.
Well, really good, because it's shiny.
I mean this side.
Oh.
I like this side.
Yeah, the DA side?
A lot.
Yeah. We'll see when I DA this.
With my eyes.
What's going on? There's definitely something going on here. A high spot.
The DA reveals all.
Yeah. Well, the light, these lights reveal all.
They do. It's a lot better in here.
That doesn't look good. All the lights doing crazy stuff, but I'll get it. I'll get it. What do you think?
I don't think it's looking too crazy.
No. Like I said, it's Bondo worthy.
Yeah, Bondo worthy.
So, whatever. I'll get it. Then we gotta... What's after this? Oh, I gotta make that bottom panel.
Bottom panel, and then...
Then I gotta do this.
Yep. Then once those two things are done, running boards, you think?
Yeah.
Or do you want to do that last and do the door tops, get that out of the way?
Well, I think these are gonna be easy, so I'll do those. Give me something easy to do instead of building a whole rear section. Pretty much everything in bare metal's scratch made, other than below this line. I don't use any of it.
From this bead up.
Yeah.
And all the way over is all...
Yeah, a little bit around the edge, of course, in the opening, but just building cars from scratch.
You know.
That's it.
No big deal. I'm gonna be pulling wires out of my shirt.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Fucking smack a wire. Yeah, he was wire wheeling a deck lid that I thought was okay, wherever it went. Where is it? Still outside? Yes. Thought it was alright. It's gonna have to be alright.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to separate it, which we weren't planning on doing.
Yeah.
But, you know, Bondo is here everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere that's not rust used to be Bondo.
Once it gets blasted, it's gonna look better, but right now it doesn't. I might have to make a whole new skin, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't want to, but...
By the time you're done making a patch, welding it in, metal finishing it, probably take less time.
Yeah, it's gonna save amount of time.
Yeah, because we still have to do a hem no matter what. Like.
Oh, that's yours.
Yeah. The one that still has ice in it.
Yeah, mine was in the fridge from yesterday. Alright, I guess back to work. I'll DA this and see what it looks like.
Dough.
Yeah. They need to get drill doctored when we buy a drill doctor.
Where's the spot hole, Trevor?
So I got this back shaped up. Just gotta trim it again for here. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do there. Like if I'm gonna flange this and create a new opening out of it, or just cut it and weld it to the corner. I don't know yet. But it's shaped enough that I think I like it. This gotta come up, so I can just move this up a tad.
Do you want to try and put the deck lid in?
Hit there. Oh, and then put this back on?
Yeah, I just want to see it.
Yeah, yeah, so I'm saying, but I want to get this
figured.
Oh, clamp, so I can clamp it here too and stand back.
Yeah. Looks great on camera.
Give me one more Clico. You say it doesn't look great in person?
It does. I just like can't step back and look at it. Camera's got a wider view than my eyes.
Oh.
I can only see the corner.
Oh shit.
Clico. Yeah, that's sick.
Looks like it's a car again. A little bit of a wavy line, but I can figure that out. Like over here. And stuff. But I did it freehand. That's freehand on the Pomax. There was no guide, no nothing. With wooden dies. So I think it went pretty good. Freestyle with wooden dies. Yeah, let's get the deck lid on there and click off back.
Man, that looks sick. Damn, dude, look at that.
Now I need to.
We got a car again.
I don't need to make the opening.
It's gonna be, yeah, it rolls. Rolls real easy. Man, that looks really good. Just trace the deck lid. That line is on the wrong side though.
I can make it work. All right, battery's been done. I don't know how long that's gonna last, but you saw me put this